The story centres on Jade Hunter, a PhD student from Manchester who goes missing in Alaska in 2016. The prime suspect in Jade's disappearance is Ursula Smith, a survivalist living in a remote cabin in the Alaskan wilderness. Although Jade's body isn't found, Ursula is convicted of murder. 2 years later, Jade's doctoral thesis, which she submitted to her PhD supervisor shortly before she disappeared, is leaked online. Carla Young, an investigative journalist who wants to exonerate Ursula, digs into Jade's disappearance to uncover what originally drew Jade to Alaska. Bear Season is made up of stories within stories, told by multiple narrators and shifting points of view. It throws into question what we know, what's knowable and what's unknowable. The story is about obsession, transformation, and the power of myth. It's also about women struggling for independence and freedom against societal expectations. When I went on a trip to Canada in 2018, I imagined what it would be like to encounter a bear. The terror I'd feel, but also a kind of awe. However, I was in Montreal, so obviously I didn't encounter a bear, but the idea lingered. A year later, I was doing some creative writing from a prompt. The prompt was 3 words, which were snow, forest, bear. I imagined a woman encountering a bear in a forest, and I thought, what if being attacked by a bear wasn't something that she feared, but something that she desired? While I was writing Bear Season, I found myself reflecting on the terrifying and uncertain times we live in, but also yearning for the escapism of distant fantasy worlds. That turned into an interest in blurring the boundaries between reality and fantasy by blending elements of true crime, found footage horror, and folklore. When I get interested in something, I get really interested. So one example of this is my obsession with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I've had since I was 15. I actually ended up writing my undergraduate dissertation about Buffy, and a year later, during my master's degree, I wrote an essay about Restless, the Dreams episode at the end of season 4 of Buffy. Although this maybe makes my academic credentials a bit questionable, I do like my obsessive streak. It definitely helped me get into the mind of one of the main characters in Bear Season, Jade Hunter, as her PhD research on bears in fairy tales and folklore becomes an all-consuming obsession.